talk today. Maybe not just maybe not as much of like a theory lesson today, but I wanted to do just to talk about listening because I find it to be it's our most powerful tool as a musician is our ear and our ability to connect our ear and this. So I think like a really important thing like whatever you're practicing, whatever skill it is, if you're practicing chords, if you're practicing notes, I think it's a really good idea to first of all like listen to your own tone and make sure that when you practice things everything's really even and that you're honest about it. That's what I tell all of my students is it's really hard to tell like your own progress day to day, which can be really hard to keep yourself motivated to keep playing. Like why would I keep practicing if I'm not getting any better? And it's sometimes hard to gauge that. That's why I think practicing with a metronome is such an important tool too, because again, it's going to tell you like if you got 2 beats per minute faster, that's a little bit of progress, and it's an amount of progress that a lot of people won't even notice. And that's like one of those things I always tell people, you have to just do this over and over and over again, and it takes a long time. And unfortunately, the fast road is the long road. So like the sooner you get traveling down it, the sooner you reach your destination. The longer we hang out here and like stay unproductive, the longer we stay trapped in the crappiness of our own playing, as it were. I think that's like maybe one of the biggest things that practice does for you, and even does for me. Like at this point, I still have things that like drive me nuts. That I can't go to sleep until I get this thing right. And maybe I don't even get it right that day, and I sleep horrible. It just is what it is. But I know after doing this for 30 years now that you always will, if you work hard, reach the other side of that. And it does take everybody different amount of time. You know, some people can do this in like no time, and some people it takes them a year to get a skill down. It just is what it is. The slow road is the only road. So just kind of take it and back to kind of like the listening thing. I think that part of it is so important because so many people can get into their practice and either not listen to themselves, and then they're not honest about their tone, and they don't actually make the improvement that day. And then you make like a bad habit, kind of like a permanent habit, instead of fixing it. Or the other thing is like, again, if you're just like practicing without a metronome, then you're not really listening for your timing and how on point or not on point that is. And I think what's really cool about it is it's an overarching theme. Like you need to do this in your own practice and in your own research. And you need to make sure it's our way of like fact checking, if you will. Just a thing that just happens so little in today's social media world. You need to fact check yourself. You need to listen to yourself and make sure that what you're saying is true and honest. And if you can do that, that's cool. So I'm gonna kind of keep it short to that. I actually played solo with no backing track this time. I usually use a backing track of some sort just because I enjoy making them, and I miss my days playing with other musicians. So the loop is the closest thing I can get to that. But the same thing goes for like when you play with other players or when you play solo. Like when I did that without the backing track here, I think, and all of it was pretty made up. Everything that was happening was just happening because if I listened to this room that I'm in, and this room that I'm in has really become a fantastic place to make music for me. The acoustics are good, and I just really love the way my amps sound in this room. So yeah, just listening to the way the room sounds, like when you play a note, it can inspire another note, you know? And I have a little bit of reverb on today because, you know, why not? It's fun. It's Monday fun day. So just playing that note like that can kind of inspire a whole, you know, world of other things. I'm kind of jamming, and it's just because I'm listening, and with my best use of my own taste and like what I know I like and what I know I don't like. I'm just playing what feels right. And it's the same thing when you play with players too. You listen to something a drummer does and it gives you an inspiration for something. So I think listening is just such an important tool. And just one more like relation back to social media. I think we're just there at that point. It's so easy, like especially in election year, with protests happening, and we're in the midst of another police brutality issue just literally this morning, and it's really easy to just call somebody a bootlicker or a fascist or a libtard or a snowflake or whatever, without actually looking at the truth and listening to what other people are saying. So I'm just going to just say one more time, I'm going to shut up about it altogether, but I think we just need to listen to each other. My experience as a guitar player shows me that we make the best music when we can just listen to each other, and I've learned in my lifetime that music has a strong parallel to life. And if we can treat each other with that same amount of respect that us musicians treat each other with when we get on a stage, when we're really truly listening to each other, I think that our whole country will be off better. Maybe our whole world will be off a little bit better. So sorry to get a little heady with it, maybe a little too deep with it, but I've always been of the opinion, I know it's election year again and things are heated, but I don't think any of these politicians are going to solve our problems. I don't think a single one of them will. It's always been up to us as humans to make sure that they're doing okay there. And clearly, we haven't been doing that. We haven't been communicating to them. They haven't been listening to us. And I think sometimes we don't listen to them either. So it just it's a two-way street. We all need to listen to each other and be good to each other out there. All right, happy Monday. Rant over. Back to the music. I might even make a little backing track.